Zoe Franciscus. I mentioned our connections to them the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benny.
Yeah, many connections. And so she's with Perform International. They do wonderful work. They're based out of Atlanta. Some of you may remember Gene Peterson, who used to be at UT. He was choir director at UT. He works with their company. You know, remember Gene? I saw you shaking your head.
He was in Alabama when Gene was at UT.
I'm just trying to be agreeable.
Okay. So, anyway, I want to turn it over to Zoe.
Thank you. Will you flip through the when we're going through? Perfect. Thank you so much for the welcome. This is like my, I don't know, 4th or 5th time at this lovely school. I live in Atlanta. I'm originally from Ireland. And my daughter goes to UT. She's a freshman there. So I have a big piece of my heart in Tennessee. And it's always so fun to drive into this campus. I feel like, I've been here a few times, so I'm very comfortable finding my way around here. I'm here to tell you about this fabulous trip to Scotland. This is, I think, the 4th time that we've taken Maryville College to Scotland. Is it the 4th or the 3rd? The 3rd, I think.
The 3rd.
Yeah.
We had a 4th one,
but then COVID ruined that one. Yeah.
Planned for.
Exactly. So this is like a coming home to Scotland for Maryville College because you're deeply rooted in Scottish heritage, and you've got friends here in this country that will be welcoming all of you with open arms. So, and it's a real kind of welcome back to Scotland, welcome home kind of tour. You have a cool name, the Rose, the Thistle and Thyme Tour, which is awesome. And like I said, I live in Atlanta. Perform International, we're a performance tour company. So all we do is performance tours, bands, choirs, orchestras. We have a huge amount of business from the state of Tennessee. I don't know if that's because Gene used to be here or what, but actually outside of California, Tennessee's our biggest state.
Really?
Great. Yeah, so lots of great music going on in the state is what I put that down to. And we have been in business since 2013, and 2025 was our biggest year. So we produced over 440 concerts for 90 ensembles. We also work here in the US, but we mostly work in Europe, South America, Central America, Asia, Canada. So they're kind of our territories. So let's talk a little bit about the trip. We're going to go through the trip day by day, give you kind of a summary of what we're seeing and doing, and then at the end you can ask me all your questions, if you have questions. Okay. Who's been to Scotland? Nobody. I mean, I know you have. Has anybody here been to Europe? Okay, cool. So we have a few people that probably don't even have a passport. Is that right? Awesome. You're going to be getting it after this presentation today. So we're going to be flying to Scotland. The map is a tiny bit fuzzy, but we'll be flying into Edinburgh, and we'll be going up north and then back around to Edinburgh. The first thing we're going to do, though, is get on a charter bus down to Atlanta, because we normally fly out of Atlanta, the biggest airport close to here. It's an overnight flight, so anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, depending on what routing we've got. The flights are not booked yet, and we'll be booking them in the summertime. And they normally serve you dinner and stuff on board. So we will arrive into Scotland the next day on Wednesday, May the 12th. And this picture that you see on the left is very typical of a lot of the small towns in Scotland. That's where you're going to spend your first night, which is the town of Oban, O-B-A-N. And it's a smaller Scottish town and just very typical of the region, and it's on the west coast of Scotland. So you'll arrive into Edinburgh and you'll meet your tour manager and your driver. You'll have a tour manager with you the whole time, someone that is from there, someone that can help with all the logistics. They'll be on the bus, they'll tell you where you can buy your lunch, they will give you all the fun tips and facts about Scotland, and they'll just be your person for the whole week that you're there. And you'll also have a full-time bus with you. So you're not taking trains and you're not taking Ubers. I mean, unless you want to take an Uber somewhere, you will have a charter bus, a luxury charter bus with you all the time, take you from A to B to C. And we will drive straight there. It's a pretty long drive, it's about 4 hours. Normally we stop along the way. Loch Lomond is a typical place to stop. I know you probably all know the song, so maybe you could sing it on the bus if there's no, I mean, sometimes we get out and kind of walk around there, but definitely know that song if you're going there. And we're going to transfer to Oban, and we're actually using hostels for this trip. We've used them before. We used them on the last tour, which was in 2023, I think, and they worked great. They're all, you know, a decent standard. They give a good breakfast. They're very safe, and it's actually really fun. So that's the kind of accommodation that you're going to be in throughout the trip. And because we're having the Friends, Family and Alumni tour parallel with the choir, so they'll be on their own bus with their own tour manager and everything, they're staying in hotels, we do have a couple of dinners that'll be together with them. Okay, so this first night will be together with the Friends and Family tour. And the meals are normally three courses, you know, an entree, a starter, an entree and a dessert, and it's, you know, good Scottish food. So not every night includes dinner, but many of them do. So that'll be your first day. It's usually a tiring day. It's kind of, the whole day is a blur because you're exhausted from the overnight flight, but it's kind of fun to just be on the ground there. And you'll also know there's a huge weather difference because the weather in Scotland is very temperate, and this part of Scotland that you're going to first can be a little cold and blustery and windy and all those things. So it'll be very different to the temperature in Tennessee in May. And we'll give you more tips about what to dress and how to pack later on. And the picture that you're seeing here in front of you is Iona Abbey. This is a very special stop on the tour, and this is something that Maryville College has almost always done when they go to Scotland. This is a very spiritual place, and we have to take 2 ferry boats to get there. So it's kind of like this fun, long excursion. You leave Oban in the morning, you take a ferry across to the Isle of Mull, you drive a little bit on the Isle of Mull, and then you take a foot ferry from Mull to Iona. And the little island of Iona, I can't remember how many inhabitants, but a couple of hundred, very few. It's all foot traffic. So you'll walk everywhere you want to go. There are not many shops, but there are lots of lovely local people that will be thrilled to have you there. In the Abbey, you'll have an opportunity to do a visit, a tour, and learn all about the history of Christianity that's known for. And then you'll also get to do a recital there. Usually around 30 minutes. Is that what you do? Something like that? Or longer,
I think
even?
we did 45.
45. Like I said, there aren't many inhabitants on this island, but the locals will definitely all come to hear you. We advertise the recital, and then there are also tourists that come to visit the Abbey, so they'll stop and hear you too. This is not a place that everybody goes to, by the way. This is pretty unique. This is kind of off the beaten track, and it's a big effort to get there. So it's kind of cool that you get to do this on your itineraries. It's very different. And you'll spend the whole day there, actually, because it takes a while to get there, and it takes a while to, you know, get around and everything on foot. So hopefully you'll have a beautiful day like this and get to enjoy. Normally you visit the Abbey, you do the recital, probably around lunchtime-ish, and there are a few restaurants and things that you can buy lunch, and you can have a picnic if you want, and just spend the day. It's super quiet. It's just totally different to anywhere you've probably ever been.
And the water looks like the Caribbean. You can tell that the landmass broke off and went that way because the water is very, if it wasn't cold, you would think you'd want to jump in and swim, but
You won't.
beautiful. You don't want to. Although the last time we went,
Probably someone did.
Yes, we did, and because it was 85 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
The other times it was like 52 and cold, but one time it was 85.
Yeah. So you'll be blown away. It's just so cool that this is like the first stop on your tour, because it's literally like you've landed in a different planet.
It's the oldest cathedral I've ever, or it's not really a cathedral, it's a church.
No, it's an abbey church.
It's
yeah,
an abbey.
yeah.
So it's smaller, but it has the old, where the choirs face each other, and the stone is really old. It's just really old. We'll find out exactly.
I can't remember the exact
But
year.
1300s,
but
1400s,
yeah, it's
something
around
like
the
that.
14. Yeah.
It's really
So
old.
St. Columba came from
Yes,
Ireland there
yes.
and
Brought
brought Christianity there.
So
it's a,
St. Patrick as well.
well, St. Patrick did too, yes. It's a very significant spiritual
Yes.
place to visit. And people will go there on pilgrimage, actually.
Right.
And there's a very simple accommodation there where you can stay a couple of nights and they'll do retreats.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of these places that you can feel like, oh my gosh, there's something otherworldly here. Like, it's a very special feeling. Okay, I've talked a lot about Iona. I guess I really like it.
It's very spiritual.
It's very cool.
It is.
So you'll go back then that night, and we've included dinner in Oban that night because it's a long day and it's a smaller town, harder to find places to eat. So you'll have dinner there then, and you come back. Okay, so on to the next day, Friday, May the 14th. The view that you see there is the ruin of Uckert Castle. This is right off of Loch Ness. You've all heard of Loch Ness, right? Why have you heard of Loch Ness?
Monster!
Right. So, Nessie. So, you get to do a really cool cruise on Loch Ness. And Uckert Castle is one of the views that you get to see on the cruise boat. And they're very fun. The skippers on the boat are fun and tell you the whole story of Nessie. And it's just a really cool, like, this whole tour is full of nature as well. So if you like being outside in nature, this, you're really going to enjoy this. So in the morning, I want to say you have breakfast every morning in the hostel, okay? We'll check out of the hostel and we're headed to Inverness, which is in the Highlands. Okay, so we were west and now we're going a little bit north. And on the way we're going to do this cruise. And then Inverness is a bigger town than Oban, so there'll be lots of places where you can find something to eat for dinner that night. So dinner's on your own that night, and then you're checking into the Inverness Youth Hostel. Heads up that we may be changing this tour by one day. The reason being, we have a wonderful connection in Inverness, the Ness Bank Presbyterian Church. I think you've been there 2-3 times already, and they really enjoy you coming to sing. We may change the dates by one day so you're there on a Sunday and you can sing the service. So that's still under discussion, and it's, I would say, 99% going to happen. So anyway, this may end up being the Friday that you arrive there and not the Saturday. The Saturday that you arrive there and not the Friday. Okay, so on to the next day. We will have our tour manager do an overview sightseeing walking tour of Inverness. What you see there is Inverness Castle. That is somewhere that you can go visit on your free time. It's not included as an entrance, but there are lots of other great things that you'll be seeing on the sightseeing tour. Most of the sightseeing tours are around 2.5-3 hours. Okay, you'll have the local guide or tour manager with you, and they'll give you lots of historic information about everything that you're seeing. Okay.
And there's a lot of, they filmed a lot of Outlander there, and outside of Sterling. So last time a bunch of students went to where they filmed Outlander.
I always forget about that
Yeah.
little exciting tidbit for fans. Everywhere that you see is going to be like a scene from that.
Outlander, yeah, it's Outlander the whole time.
That or Lord of the Rings, so that's a bit Lord of the Rings-ish.
Yeah, that's in Glen Cove, which we drive through to get to Oban, is where they filmed some of Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
So,
yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Not all of it. Some of that was in New Zealand, but some of it
Some of it was there. Yeah. So it says here evening concert at that church, at that Presbyterian church, but like I mentioned to you, we're probably going to move that to Sunday and do a service there instead. That way you really get to, you get to experience a Presbyterian service in Scotland, which is cool. And they have a wonderful congregation that would really welcome that. So this may change a little bit. Anyway, dinner on own and then overnight in Inverness. Okay, on to Sunday. We are checking out of the hostel today, and then we are headed to Stirling, which is going to be where we stay for the rest of the tour. But on the way, we're going to go to St. Andrews. Who's heard of St. Andrews? You've heard of it because of the golf, right?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a very famous university there, and loads of people from the US actually go to university in St. Andrews. And Kate and William had their first date there. And there's a coffee shop, and it talks all about that, and then you can sit at the table where they met. It's kind of
They
another
had
thing.
the choir from there sing at their wedding too, because that's where they went to school.
That's right.
Yeah.
You did go to school there. Yeah. So this has always been a special place on the tour. Reason being, in the past, we've often sung with the choir from St. Andrews, but that's not happening on this tour. We have another great choir to sing with instead. But because St. Andrews is such a draw and a well-known place and a gorgeous place, we've decided we're going to stop there anyways on the way. So we'll stop there. There'll be a little bit of free time. It's very charming. And from there, we will continue to Stirling, which is where we're going to be for the rest of the tour, okay? Stirling's about an hour outside of Edinburgh. We have great friends there, the Heart of Scotland tour. 4 times you've sung with them, something like that, right? It's a community choir, right, run by 2 ladies, and they love to get together, and so it'll be an exchange concert with them. Have you talked to Annie?
I haven't.
Okay.
I heard a little bit from Jane. But
Okay,
not
okay.
But I'll message them.
Yeah, they're going to be so excited. Yeah, yeah.
Can't wait to
So they are there, and that will be a concert in Stirling that night, okay? The youth hostel in Stirling's in a good location. It's on a teeny weeny bit of a hill, but Stirling's very charming, and there are lots of places to eat close to there. So, have dinner on there. I know her. I just thought I would have to feature you somehow. So this is from the last trip. Actually, we make those banners for you, so so to advertise your concerts and everything. So I just wanted to make you aware of that, and highlight you as well. In the morning, we're going to visit Stirling Castle. So the next few days are going to be your castle visits, okay? Because loads of castles in Scotland. We're going to visit Stirling Castle, and then we're going to head into Edinburgh early in the afternoon. And who's heard of Paul Phoenix? Has he worked here with you guys, King Singers?
He's not been back to the States.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no seniors in here. They would have worked with him when we went to Scotland.
Okay.
But no seniors.
Okay, so he's a former member of the King Singers. He used to work in Hong Kong, used to live there actually, but moved back to the UK a few years ago, around COVID time. He's been here a couple of times to work with singers from here. He's great friends with you guys. And we're going to have him come up to Edinburgh and do a clinic, a workshop with you guys, which is always super fun. In fact, one of my favorite videos ever is on YouTube. Do you know the one I'm going to tell you about?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. You guys were in Edinburgh somewhere, I don't remember. It was with Paul. It was the first trip you ever did with us, and it was the U2 song that you sang.
Oh, MLK.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah.
I should have embedded it into
my
this.
gosh.
You guys, you go on our YouTube Perform International and find that video. It is one of the most haunting, beautiful videos ever. And it was your Maryville College Choir with Paul, and it was just so special. Anyway, that's one of my good memories of Paul. Yeah. So anyways, you guys are going to work with him, and then in the evening, we're going to have a joint concert with Edinburgh University Singers. These guys are fabulous. They're super excited. We've had other choirs work with them and really positive experiences. So you'll get an opportunity to sing with peers, and hopefully you guys can do some work together, like sing some pieces together. Usually the format of these kinds of joint concerts are the host choir will sing for about 20 minutes, then you'll sing for about 45, and then normally we try and find 1 or 2 common pieces, and we get to wrap up the concert with that, and it's really, really fun. So that's going to be a very big highlight. I think people remember those things more than the castles. They remember the castles, but the friendships and singing with our friends from there are like the big things. We have dinner, and then we have overnight. We go back to Stirling that night. And then Tuesday, May the 18th, the next day, this is your choir again. Because one of the traditions is to always sing at St. Giles Cathedral, which is it's probably the most famous cathedral in Edinburgh. It's very beautiful, and normally we do a lunchtime service there, which is super memorable. So we'll take you in the morning, you visit another castle, Edinburgh Castle, which is great. And then you have the lunchtime concert at St. Giles. And then Edinburgh is a really fun town, so we like to give you a bit of time to go shopping and do your own thing there. And then we'll have a farewell dinner in Edinburgh, probably with the friends and family again. And then we wrap up by going back to Stirling. And I know, it's so sad now we're having to go.
I was just saying I missed it.
We're going to have to go home now. That's Edinburgh Castle, right there. It's very, very prominent skyline of Edinburgh. It's gorgeous.
It's huge.
Yes, it is huge. This tour is lots of walking, by the way, guys. Like, everything in Scotland is walking and lots of hills. Like, everything in Edinburgh seems to be cobblestones and up hills. So be ready for that. And we'll check out at the hostel, and we'll get to the airport, and then we'll take our flight back, and then we have a charter coach back to Maryville. So that's the trip, 7 nights. Okay, I know, it's great. This is an exciting group, I love it. So a little bit about what's all included. Yeah, the price is the price. I mean, I think there'll be fundraising efforts and all kinds of things to try and help with that.
And the college tax on extra fees, and they count your getting a passport. So when I quoted you $6,000, that includes getting a passport, your application fee for the college, and other little travel insurance, and other things that the college requires you to do. So there's about $1,000 that the college packages, and so that's why that says 49, but I quoted you 6 because it'll be close to that, the cost. Now, with what we raise, and if you already have a passport, you can already start whittling at the price. What we've raised will bring it down, and the more we have going in the companion tour will bring the price down. So probably it definitely will be less. I just can't tell you
How much less?
how much less.
So make sure and tell all your friends and family and enthusiasts and lovers of Maryville College to go on the Friends and Family Tour.
Yes.
Because the more we have on that, then the better it's going to be
Yes,
for all you guys.
yes, it'll help support you, get you there.
Yes. And just a quick thing about passports. I know that a few people in here don't have their passports. Don't delay on that.
Right.
I mean, the time just kind of creeps by, and I don't want to tell you horror stories, but you know, we have stories of people that a week out realize, oh my gosh, I don't have, my passport's not up to date, or you know, it's stuck in the mail or whatever. Don't let that happen because it's stressful, and you want to be able to go on this tour. So work on the passport, and I know sometimes it means trying to get your birth certificate and this and that, and it's a pain, but once you've got it done, it's done. So
Do it this summer if you can.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, get it before school starts. And it can take a variety of amount of time to get it back. Sometimes it comes back fairly efficiently,
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a long time.
these days, I just did my kids' passports and it came back in 6 weeks, and that was not the expedited. So right now it's coming back quick, but if something crazy happens, then it could delay everything.
If somebody had, it was 3 months, I don't remember who it was.
Oh, I
but
believe
that
it.
was during COVID.
Yeah.
It took a while to get it back.
Yeah.
So just don't wait on that.
Yeah.
I also think it needs to be valid up until 6
6
months.
months,
past the date.
correct.
Yes.
Yes, this is very true.
So check your.
Yeah, if you have one, double check and make sure that it's still in date 6 months after when you come back. So it needs to be in date literally until the end of 2027.
That's the question?
That's what I was
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so anyways, what's included in the tour? The round trip airfare, the charter coach from Maryville College to Atlanta, the tour manager that I told you about, the coach transportation, the hostel accommodation, breakfast daily and 4 dinners. And closer to the time of departure, we'll give you a budget for how much, you know, to think about for other dinners and lunches and things like that. The sightseeing and entrances, so visits included to Iona Abbey, the Loch Ness Cruise, Stirling Castle and Edinburgh Castle. These things all cost a lot of money in the UK. Like Edinburgh Castle is probably, I don't know, $30, $35 or something like that. So all those things are included for you. And then the concerts and singing opportunities, the recital in Iona, the concert or church service in Inverness at Nessbank, the shared concert with Edinburgh University Singers, the shared concert with Heart of Scotland, the lunchtime recital, and the workshop with Paul that I forgot to put on there. That's also all included. So this is a ton of singing opportunities. Like, Some of the groups that travel with us and go for 7 days might just sing twice. I think you have like 8 singing opportunities here, so it's very, very rich
They want to sing.
with singing opportunities. And that's not to talk about the fact that you'll be somewhere and it's lovely and you just sing spontaneously.
Right.
That happens like all the time, so, and everybody loves that. And then the tips and gratuities to the tour managers and driver are also included, so you don't need to worry about that. What's not included are the meals not mentioned on the itinerary. And the tour managers are great because they'll help you find somewhere that you can buy food, you know, inexpensively, or, you know, whatever you're looking for. Drinks are not included, but tap water is. The airlines allow 1 checked bag. Don't bring any more than 1 because it won't fit on the bus. Travel insurance, which I believe is provided by the college, so it's not included with us, but it is with the college. And then, this other painful thing, which is a new visa in the UK called the ETA. They have to apply for that. I can't help with that. It's not expensive. We've had several groups that have done it already this year. It's like $10 or something like that. It comes in 24 hours. It's all done online. We will give you information about that, but you absolutely have to have that to enter the country. So, yeah, that's a new thing, unfortunately. Okay, what else? Oh, we're at the end. Okay. I just put my little bagpiper there because it makes us excited about Scotland. Questions? Yes?
For the companion tour, how often will, I'm going to invite my boyfriend, so we want to know how often we see each other throughout that. Would that be like during the kind of downtime, I suppose? Or would they be kind of pretty separated?
You'll see them during the downtime, but remember you're going to be staying in different places, so you have to remember that. And you'll see them for the dinners. They'll come to the concerts. Otherwise, for the sightseeing, we try and run it a little separately, like we try and stagger it a little bit so everybody's not on top of each other all the time. So I wouldn't count on seeing each other during all the free time, during the sightseeing time. But the free time, yes, you would, yeah.
Also for the companion tour, I know a lot of the people who we wanted to invite might be older and have mobility issues.
Great question.
If a lot of it is walking or uphill, like hike heavy, how will they manage that?
Very, very good question. If they're on a walker or a motorized scooter or anything like that, this is a challenging tour for that. Yeah. Especially going somewhere like Iona where you have to get around on your own 2 feet really, and you've got to walk, I don't know, half a mile to the Abbey. Like there's no other way to get there. So depending on the level of mobility, you know, we would have to chat with them and see what they can and can't do. I never say no one can ever do a tour. I want everybody to go on a tour, but we have to tell them realistically what is and isn't possible for them. If there's someone that's mobile but gets tired easily and can't keep up with the group, that's a very common thing actually. I try not to discourage. I would say if you're that person, then you might need to take a taxi to catch up, or you might have to sit in a cafe and wait for the tour to be done. And as long as they're flexible and know what their limitations are, then I think it's, you know, doable. But that's a really, really good question. We have this a lot. Right. We have it a lot in Scotland because there is, like you said, you know, a lot of walking involved and a lot of hills and cobble. So we really like to talk to whoever it is and hear what they're comfortable with. They have to be very honest with us about what they can and can't do, and then we give the recommendations. Yeah.
Not to worry about bad memories, but God forbid something like COVID happens again. Estimate doesn't need like an exact answer at this point. What would the refund look like?
So we have a refund schedule in the terms and conditions. Once you sign up for the tour, you'll see all of that. When COVID happened, it happened in March, we had groups that were going 2 days later. We worked with all our vendors to try and get as much money as possible back. So if anything like that unforeseen were to happen, then that's our job, is to work with all our vendors to get as much back as possible. I can't tell you how much that will be. I will tell you, I could give you any of our clients that had that during COVID, and they'll tell you they were very appreciative of everything, you know, that they got back. Travel insurance is also your best friend. Yeah. Because that also covers a myriad of things that could happen. And if there was any kind of State Department announcement that, you know, travel to Scotland is unsafe because of this thing or that thing, we couldn't do the tour, obviously. So then we would have to work, you know, with refunds too. So it's unfortunate we have to have that discussion, but yes, it happens. And we just try and advocate as best we can for our clients to get what we can back. Yeah.
So we'll almost be on the same flight, like to and from Scotland?
Yeah, I mean, if the choir is about 35 or so, yes, you would be. If suddenly, I don't think it's going to happen, but if the choir was to like grow to 60, then you might be split up into like 2 flights.
Be awesome. I'm not seeing it.
But in the past, the choirs always traveled together, I believe, and then the friends and family have been often on a separate flight. Yeah, the good thing is from Atlanta, there's a good few flight options, so it's not as difficult.
And will there be a layover, or will it be straight from Atlanta?
Good question. I don't know yet. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we went via London once before, maybe.
We did.
I think we probably have gone direct a little bit.
We have 2 and 2.
2 and 2, I think, yeah. So it really depends. Like, we try and just make it as comfortable as possible, you know, without too many long layovers, if there is a layover. There's only one non-stop flight from Atlanta to Edinburgh with Delta. I don't actually, this is not the low season, you're travelling in May. I don't know the schedule yet for 2027, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you.
Yes.
Based on previous tours, what has been like the biggest maybe struggle or shock that you saw students like deal with when they got to Scotland?
Such a good question. You didn't tell me. These guys have the best questions. Sometimes food is hard for people, I think, you know, like the exhaustion of travel, where you're just really like wiped out because you didn't sleep, and then like not being on a regular schedule and it taking like 2 days for your body to catch up, and the weather being cooler sometimes, and then the bus travel. Sometimes that is just takes a lot out of people, you know. That's the one thing that I've kind of noticed.
The first day especially.
Yeah, the first day is tough. Yeah.
Then you kind of get into a routine.
Yeah.
But the first day is a little difficult because you've been on the airplane,
Yeah.
and you've been on the bus ride to get where you're going.
You just feel like very out of sorts, I think, when you arrive. But otherwise, what other struggles have we had?
Not really very many. The food things, you have to be flexible about food. They're not as, what would you say, accommodating.
Right.
There, so you have to kind of know what you can eat. Find some snacks to have if you are, if the breakfast doesn't seem, the Scottish breakfasts are great, but they do like meat and potatoes. Okay?
Yeah.
So you just need to be aware of that. That's just their culture.
Yeah. I think a good advice is to bring snacks as well from here.
Right.
Especially when you feel like, you know, your blood sugar is getting a little low and you're getting a little hangry and everything, you know, then you have something to kind of get you through.
Cliff bars
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah.
Suitcase.
Yeah. Sometimes people like have, you know, it rains sometimes. That can be hard when you're tired and hungry and everything, so that's just something. Yeah.
And even though they do speak English, it's difficult to understand the dialect sometimes.
It is.
In some portions of Scotland or with some individuals. So you have to be patient, and you may have to ask them to repeat things or slow it down and say it again.
It takes a minute to tune your ear to the Scottish accent. It's one of the more unique ones, I would say.
It is.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, then it's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And they have their own little colloquialisms as well.
They
And you're
do.
like, what does that mean exactly?
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of part of the fun of travel though as
Yeah.
well, you know,
Yeah.
just kind of experiencing that.
So don't take offense if they say something seems weird, you know. It's just a phrase that they use.
Right.
What is the Scottish attitude towards traveling groups of Americans?
I think there's, generally, in Europe, the attitude is very, very positive.
Yes, very positive.
This is a question I get in almost every presentation that I make these days. And I have to say, as long as groups are not like being loud or, you know, crazy, and if you're being very respectful of the culture and the country and curious and, you know, friendly, zero problems, absolutely zero problems. I think Europe there's a huge affinity between Europe and the US. They love Americans.
They do.
And I really have not had any negative experiences at all, in fact. So please try, like, I know that's a concern, but don't worry about it because you won't feel it. The funny thing is, this is something to warn you about. They love talking about politics, and especially in Ireland. Oh my gosh, you get on the bus in Ireland, all the driver wants to talk about is politics in America, American politics. They want your views on everything. And that's just a cultural thing too, okay? So, you know, converse to the level that you're comfortable with, but there's a lot of curiosity out there. So that's just something not to be shocked about, you know? I think it's an Irish, English, Scottish cultural thing. We just love to talk about that stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's just like if you were to meet a Scottish choir and they came in and were talking to you, you're interested in them, right? They are interested in you. They want to know, they'll ask questions, they want to hear you speak. Where are you from? You know, they'll want to know you're from the South. What's that accent? I mean, the little things like that is very interesting.
Yeah.
They are very interesting. And they do have a way of separating people from politics. So they don't, I never had, anywhere I've ever gone.
Never.
In all of the world, no one has ever given us any trouble.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when you have a concert with the local choir, like you will with the Edinburgh University Singers, seeing you guys exchange Instagram and, you know, taking pictures together and them getting posted. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what it's all about.
Right.
Like, this is cultural exchange to the level that we love, and as singers, that's really special. And that's a lot of what this tour is going to be about. So they're the moments. They're the things that I love.
That's what brings people together.
Yep.
Is knowledge and really knowing other people, other cultures. Once you know, people are people.
Yep.
But it's getting past that initial, I don't know you idea.
And I also think, like, sharing music is such a beautiful communication
Very.
tool. It's so healing, and everybody wants. People really desire that right now. You know, it's really a great thing that you're doing. So I always say that's the big kind of takeaway from these trips, is to see all that, you know, sharing.
You are kind of an ambassador for the college, for your country, when you go do these things.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, what will payment plans look like?
That's a great question. We're working on it right
Yeah,
now.
that will be a question that Aubriana will answer tomorrow. Remember, part of this is through the college, and part of it is through Perform International. The college will set up a payment schedule. They will have a payment schedule, and prior to the payment being due to them, you will pay the college your portion. We usually set it up in, I think it was $750 or $500 payments. I can't remember. I need to find the payment schedule. And so every periodic payment schedule, you pay it through the business office. We send a check to them for the payment for the group at that point. So you don't have to do it yourself directly to them.
So if someone were to give me a check, who is the easiest person to make it out to? Me? And then I send it to the college?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it out to you, and then you just pay it to the college. So it doesn't go anywhere else.
Would we be able to pay it in full immediately?
You sure can.
Absolutely.
That is the first time anyone is
Happy to have you pay us in full.
You go, Lily. I tell you. Those are all good questions.
Yeah.
They're all good questions.
Great questions. When we get everything up and going, you'll have a link from us that you will register online. And there's a dedicated person in my company that will be managing the trip. Her name is Krista. She's also managing the friends and family trip. She's worked with the school before, so she knows a lot of it. She'll be able to anticipate a lot of the questions you have, but you know, she's a person that can help you if you have questions.
Krista Montgomery. Right?
Yeah, Krista Montgomery. You've got a good memory. Yeah. Yep, that's her. Yep. So you guys excited? Yeah.
Super.
Cool.
Any more questions for Zoe?
You've been like one of the most attentive, good question audience I've had for a long time. So thank you for all your energy in your questions.
This is
Great.
a great group.
Yeah, I can tell
It's
already.
a great
Yeah,
group.
I can tell.
Thank
I
you.
can feel
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming in. I know it was not your day.
All right, thank you all.
Stop.